and in one of my Instagram feed, I did see one picture where one of our Manipuri research scholar has made a DIY sanitizer, during this time of COVID. And I was very interested to bring him up in our show. And he is none other than he has already come to our show earlier. He is Chingakham Chinglenthoiba. Popularly, we call him John. And he is currently in NIT Calicut as a research scholar. And also, he recently won an award from UNESCO, for being the world's top 11 engineers. So there are a lot of things I want to get an update from him. Also share about, how they came up with the sanitizer. So let me bring up John. And for the ones who are watching us, if you can just give a comment, because I want to ensure that the sound is good, that would be awesome.
Hello.
Hey, John.
Hello. Yeah. Good evening from India.
Yeah,
And
good evening for you and good morning for me.
And
How
by
are
the way,
you?
happy Easter to you. That's very important.
Yes, happy Easter. Happy Easter to
Yeah.
you. Happy Easter to
Thank you so
everybody
much.
watching.
Thank you
I
so
know
much.
that because of the COVID, there are people are not able to go to the church, but I know there are a lot of live streaming sessions
Online.
going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great.
All right. So, John, I know you have been in our studio before. It's always a pleasure to have you back.
Thank you so much.
But, for our listeners, again, if you can introduce yourself a bit.
Well, myself, Chingakham Chinglenthoiba, and everyone knows me with the various name. Maybe because I have a very complicated Manipuri name. So people call me as John, people call me with the Chingakham as my surname, and people call me with Chinglen half name and Thoiba as another half name. So after all, I'm just the same person. And I am a PhD student from School of Materials Science and Engineering, National Institute of Technology, Calicut, NIT Calicut. Right now, currently, I'm about to finish my PhD, and my broad way of my research is regarding the biodiesel by using all the waste material as heterogeneous catalyst. And apart from my research, I'm a very passionate about to know more other stuff which I really want to do and which I really want to carry out my future research. And actually, I was invited in this talk especially for the my DIY hand sanitizer, and actually it's a very funny story. Like in our campus institute, we have nearly 5 to 6 Northeast students who are BTech and plus MTech level student, and the before the actual lockdown by the government of India, our institute has already declared the holiday much earlier, and these students they want to go back home with the safe and sound. But thing is that the due to the uh, because of the lockdown, people were so much very kind of panic or something. So that's why they were buying all the hand sanitizer from the supermarket, whether they really need it or not, in a large amount. So because of this kind of loading or overloading behavior, they were unable to buy the hand sanitizer anywhere nearby in the medical store or the supermarket in our institution. So these people know that I am always in my lab and I do a lot of stuff and play with chemicals. And they came up in my lab and they said that, bro, can you please make the hand sanitizer for us, because we are going home and and we are very scared to go. And plus moreover, in that time, there were no case reported in the whole Northeast, and the our place Kerala has become an epicenter of this epicenter of this thing. Epicenter of this virus, coronavirus, and I was very scared that if the student from our institute moved to the northeast, and they could be as a virus carrier, right? So, like for that purpose, I thought that I should be the first kind of fighter against this virus. So so my aim was to make the DIY hand sanitizer in my lab at a very small scale. Like, I just made this for 200 ml, for the 100 ml for each of them. And they have put it in their social media that the this senior has made the DIY hand sanitizer for us, and we are so thankful for him. And I gave to them, like from my lab, I gave them the mask, I gave them the hand gloves, and plus along with that, I gave the sanitizer to them. And this video and this all the story in the Instagram has become viral, and the people started to share it actually, and it became more and more into a bigger scale story. And plus moreover, I'm very much close to my supervisor, from my PhD supervisor, and I have shared the video of like how do we make the hand sanitizer in our lab scale. And they have their own WhatsApp group for the faculty, and he shared the video and all the details that the my student is doing a very cool work, that he is making sanitizer. And in that WhatsApp group, the dean of student welfare, he have seen that particular that video, and he came up to our lab, and he asked that can you make into a larger scale so that in our institution we have so many places where people really gather, and it became a kind of there was high chances that, if all the people gather in kind of certain area, like kind of we have a canteen, and we have like so many places here, where people, and plus we have a mess. We have nearly 9 to 10 mess around in our institution, and in every door and entrance of that, we have kept our own hand sanitizer. The beauty of this sanitizer was that actually it was a challenge actually. In our institute, that the some group of research group, they made their own sanitizer, which was not having a very pleasant smell. They made with the apple cider vinegar, and plus with the uh, isopropanol alcohol, which is a base medium to make the sanitizer. So when you mix with these two chemical, what happened is that the um, uh, what that makes a very not a good pleasant smell. We don't like that smell. So like
More
we
like
thought that
hospital like
yeah,
smell,
exactly,
a
exactly,
strong
exactly.
smell.
So, like yeah, exactly. So like we thought that okay, if we are making something, we'll make out of it with a very good flowery smell, which gives so much pleasant smell such a good kind of fragrance. We need that. So that's why we got nearly 20 liters of the IPA, which is the alcohol, and the actually we can use IPA as a rubbing alcohol. But the thing is that when you put this kind of alcohol direct on your skin, that's not a good practice actually. So to make it as more into user friendly as a hand sanitizer, we need to add certain like kind of glycerol, or the some kind of a gel from the plant. Like I use even a aloe vera gel, aloe vera
Hmm.
gel, just to make to improve the smell, or the fragrance. I use the lemongrass oil, or the lavender oil, or the rose rose petal oil. So
Mm.
that gives a very interesting smell. So we made lots of flavor. Actually, we were doing it's a real DIY, to be frank.
Yeah,
We
yeah. And for our listeners, we have shared the video on how they have made, the hand
Yeah, exactly,
sanitizer.
exactly. Yeah,
And
yeah,
I think in that you have used aloe vera, but what you're
yeah.
saying is you have started trying out with different,
Different flavor actually. Yeah,
fragrance. So which
yeah,
one
yeah.
was the most popular?
Actually, like we use aloe vera gel as a base. We change the flavor based on the oil what we use. We use lavender, we use lemongrass, we use vanilla extract. That the vanilla extract. So some people can feel the real ice cream, or the some kind of pastry in their hand. So it was a real DIY, and it was just a simple move. It was just a simple, a single step. And by seeing this, a very small step, even my own, my PhD supervisor, Dr. V. Sajith, and he was really impressed. And he said that, John, even I want to do something, because right now we are all locked down, and I cannot come to lab, and you cannot come outside. Even I want to do something by myself. I said, then okay, then it's so fantastic. Then you can make your own something out of, so that you can help the humanity in this time. And it is so amazing that my supervisor made the low cost ventilator just
Mm-hmm.
out of, by using an oxygen cylinder. And in the car we have a wiper, right? That wiper, he took that motor, that wiper, and that the shaft of that wiper, and he made to connect with the oxygen cylinder. And just a very simple mechanism, but it does the same work. And he made the a very low cost ventilator. And that design was so impressed by the director of our institution. And this, the same design was sent to the larger scale industry, where they are going to produce a very low cost ventilator, where people can really make use of it. So what I want to say is that the our School of Material Science and Engineering, we have a very low number of student and plus faculty. Our institute, our department is one of the most smallest, and but the most powerful, just like the nanomaterials. Because since I work in nanomaterials, nano is very small and it's so powerful. And just like that, even our department is also a very small but very powerful. And with these kind of the help, the small step from the hand sanitizer to the low cost ventilator was just to fight against this coronavirus. And the since is right now we are in the stage of corona, stage of this COVID stage, where people are really panic, and people started kind of hatred. And I feel so bad when people see in the social media, especially that happened in our state Manipur, where that the sister, I don't want to mention a name because I want to really
Yeah,
protect
we
her.
should not mention her name, and I
Yeah,
see
yeah,
that many people mention.
yeah, that's what I feel so weird. And like we never know that what's happening in her shoes, right? We don't know, why did she need to come back to home, because she need to come back home because she have a strong support from her family and all. But I feel so bad that people literally stalk her in her all the social media, curse her, scolded her. That kind of, this is a time to show love. This is a time to show love. It's time to prove yourself that you are a better human being of the society, right?
Yeah,
So
but I think there were a lot of, like, there were people who did, I guess, lash back to her, but there were people who came out, and even, I saw that there were backup from the system, from the, from the chief minister, and I think that
yeah,
was
yeah,
very
yeah.
good that everybody stepped up
That was
for
very good.
her.
That's very good.
And
Yeah, that's
such,
a very good.
yeah, such behaviors will not be accepted or
Yeah,
tolerated, and I
yeah,
really appreciate and deepest gratitude um, for our chief minister, who is doing a great job, because at this
exactly.
time we don't have space for intolerance and calling names
Yeah,
and things like that.
seriously.
And I just want to mention about the name. I work in a healthcare information
Yeah,
technology segment, and the
yeah,
first thing we are trained is to keep the privacy of um,
exactly,
patient, and there are
exactly.
repercussion. And
Yeah,
I, as a person who works in IT, I have access to a lot of patient details. And
yeah,
even when we share it for technical purpose, we use secure email. We have a lot of protocols we need to follow. And I think at Manipur, we have seen a lot of people
yeah,
sharing copies.
exactly,
And so I think we should really be respectful of people's
exactly, exactly.
privacy.
Yeah,
And it is important that we know that, okay, there is a case of coronavirus, but it is not important for us to know who. We just need to
who
know
exactly?
where, which
Yeah,
area, so that we
yeah,
would know how
exactly.
to take care of ourselves. So thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and to our listeners, I do see some comments. We are definitely going to pick that, and please do comment on what we are talking about, or what any comment on the situation where you are in right now? Okay, so coming back to what you were saying about, you know, I mean, I was really happy to see you, your team coming up with the sanitizer, especially, with the fact that many people were hoarding, or, it's not available. So you said that you made, many for the whole campus. Is it
Yeah,
only for the
exactly.
campus, or like,
Yeah,
you guys
actually,
have made it more for other
actually,
people?
some bottle went really outside of the campus, like kind of a local people, who are living near to our institution, and they have heard that the news that yeah, this guy is making this kind of hand sanitizer. So people have moved out of the campus also. And since right now it's a lockdown and our institute is completely shielded, nobody can come inside, nobody can go inside. So like I had nearly 5 liter can was the last bottle with me, and it's my duty to take care of the whole college surrounding. So like what I did was at the wherever the college that the bottle I found the empty without a sanitizer, it's my duty to go and refill it. So
Hmm.
like whenever and watchmen see me, and he people know me as a sanitizer man. So like I go for a check in my campus whether because watchmen are doing really good job in our institution, because they are the one who are at a kind of a front, to really protect our institution and not allowing anyone to come inside, not allowing to go outside. They are doing a really rich job. I really want to salute to our watchmen of our institution, and so I just want to keep them safe. And but they are not really aware of this particular, what to do and what not to do. They have simply a kind of kerchief in their mouth like this, and I want to tell them that this kerchief is not, it's not going to help you. So that's why I have I have purchased a mask, like kind of surgical mask, which we have in our lab, and I went and distributed to all the watchmen, instead of the to wearing I mean, instead of wearing the kerchief, it's better to wear this kind of surgical mask, and use the sanitizer if you happen to touch something which is not from the campus. Suppose like if like some kind of food trucks come inside our campus, because we have nearly around 168 students in our campus right now. We were locked down and we could not go back to our home, and for these we have to survive with the food, right? So like every evening the food truck comes from outside, and they have to be really careful, right? So like for that I want them to be safe, so that I gave them a mask, I gave them kind of hand sanitizer, and I go and recheck and every center of our institution whether the sanitizer is still there or not. So it's my duty right now, since I'm in the campus, so I have to be really take care of my campus, because if something virus come inside, then the entire 168 students are in risk actually. So that's
Oh,
why it's my duty to take care of our student inside my campus.
yeah, absolutely. So thank you for taking that lead. So for
Yeah,
somebody who is watching, right, um, when they refer to your video, is that
yeah,
something they can recreate, like say back home in Manipur or any other place, like can
yeah.
they take that
I like,
and make it?
yeah, sure. I would like to tell the fact that the people are really crazy behind hand sanitizer, because actually it's a hype actually, to be frank, because people think that to use hand sanitizer make them feel really safe. But yeah, actually the fact is that we use hand sanitizer. I mean, in such kind of condition where we cannot find the soap and water, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
example, when we are kind of traveling or something, we can use the sanitizer. As long as what I feel is that if you see the structure as a researcher, if you see the structure of the coronavirus, it has a lipid layer. Lipid means it's kind of, it has a fat layer. So the only the soap has got the structure of the hydrophobic and the hydrophilic head and hydrophobic tail. So this kind of a head and tail structure, or like from the soap, can really break down the lipid layer of the coronavirus, and it can kill the virus actually. So what I want to suggest to all the viewers right now over here is that instead of running behind hand sanitizer, I really want everyone to wash your hand very frequently, very frequently. Suppose if you touch something and which you feel that this is not a safe because like for example, we have a common bathroom in our institution. I don't have my own bathroom in my room. So if I go to common bathroom, and it's my duty to wash my hand very quite frequent, because everyone touched that touched the common bathroom, either knob or the flush area. So it is very important to wash your hand very quite often, rather than to run behind hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer is good when you are in such kind of condition where you cannot wash your hand with a soap and water. As long as you have a soap and water, I really highly recommend to use the soap and water more than hand sanitizer. And
Yeah.
because uh, in our hand, we do also have our own kind of a such kind of a bacteria which is really helpful for us in digesting our food and all, which is there in our hand, which actually I call them as friendly bacteria. If we use lots amount of the hand sanitizer, it has a high chance to kill that bacteria also. That could be a change in your diet system and in your digestion, or could be. So I really I highly recommend to use soap water more than the
Mm.
hand sanitizer. Yeah, it is always good to have a small bottle pack in your pocket when you're going outside where you cannot find the soap water. But as long as you have soap water, I really highly recommend to use the soap water more than the hand sanitizer.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that
Yeah,
difference,
sure.
because I think, like you said, many people are so fixated on sanitizer.
Exactly,
But
exactly.
what we are learning is, you don't have to, maybe when you're traveling and when you don't have access to soap and water, that may be the alternative. But when you're at home, the soap and water is more preferable than the sanitizer.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. And do look up the pictures and video which I have shared on our Facebook to see, John's sharing on how to make the hand sanitizer. Also, I wanted to ask you about your award. It's such a privilege to know that one research scholar from Manipur has been selected in the top engineers by UNESCO. Can you share a little bit on that?
Yeah, I really want to share because every year UNESCO observe the day of March 4th as a World Engineers Day, and for this competition, they invite from all over the world, all regardless what kind of research you are doing. They It can be based on the social research, or maybe let it be in the research in the field of the engineering and science, anything. Okay, so they really welcomes all the participants. And luckily, I have a WhatsApp group in that it was Northeast NIT student WhatsApp group is there. In it, hardly 6 or 7 of us is there, and the one of my juniors, she's from Nagaland, and her name is Meme. She shared at the last moment, like tomorrow is the deadline for the submission. I mean for the first stage round. Then she just sent me that hey John, since you are very much kind of passionate about your research, you can really participate. You can really participate in this competition. And I said, okay, fine. Then I just went to link, and I just saw that they were looking for all the researchers from all over the world who are doing research based on the to fight against the air pollution, water pollution, and to fight against the plastic pollution. Yeah, such kind of researchers, they were really looking for it. And the first round is very simple. The first round is I have to give my all the details, and plus I have to give my brief CV and all the papers which I have published, and the current work what I'm doing right now. And this was the first stage round. So like they have shortlisted me in the first stage round, and in that stage round, they sent me a mail then saying that a huge congratulation, nearly 600 around the world people have really participated in this competition, and your application has been selected for the next round. And for that, you need to write just 1,000 words. You need to write a 1,000 words article And in the next round, you cannot uh, you cannot tell to the people of what you are working right now. We have to design, we have to re-engineer of our own work to a new field. As for right now, I work in the waste material to develop the heterogeneous catalyst for the biodiesel. And the I can use my own material, but not for the biodiesel application. I have to use like for the, like some other application point of view. So in my right now I'm doing my PhD and I'll be doing my postdoc also. So in my postdoc, I have already decided that I'll be working in the microplastic and the biodegradable this polymer. This is what I really interested to do my future work. And the in this one I have to write 1,000 words where I can use my data, which have already worked in my previous work, but not the same application, but with a different application out of my own work. That means I have to come out from my my own comfortable zone to a new zone, which I am really new to it. That means that they are allowing me to think, that they are
Beyond your
allowing.
expertise.
Yeah, exactly. And plus moreover, I have already planned, what to do in my future postdoc work. And the I know what to do. But the only thing was that I was very much lazy, because I'm in the stage of to submit my thesis, because I have to finish my synopsis report, and then I have to write my thesis. And the deadline with the synopsis and deadline with this with the proposal of my final round clashes actually. So I have a very good friend, and she is also a PhD scholar from the Kharagpur IIT, and her name is Jessie. And Jessie was there, like she was really supporting me, and she was saying, John, you can do it because you have the point what what you're going to express, and plus you have a very good future scope, and people will be really appreciate if you do it, because your works sound so unique to me. And if people find uh, people like me finds unique to your work, that means the whole world might be unique to your work also. They might really appreciate with your work. Then I, okay, fine, I'll just give a try. So I started really focusing on my work, and she helped me in converting the PDF. To write in the form of latex version, because when you convert the word file into latex, it really improves the quality of the way we write, the font style, everything. So like she really helped me in that, and I just submitted it, and I never looked back. And one early morning, it was the Ash Wednesday. I was coming back from church, and I just saw the mail, and it was said at the huge congratulations, you have been selected as a world top 10, and these are the people who are selected in the world top 10. And in that, I was the only Indian, and I was the only Indian from the Indian Institute, and other all the top 10 institutes were from MIT, Harvard, Stanford, Ford, then Princeton, then Imperial College of London. They are the amazing, they are world class level university, and all of that, our institution NIT Calicut was there. And my guide was jumping, I was jumping, my lab mates were really happy of that. And I'm very glad to my all the friend colleagues whoever helped me to achieve this award. And actually I should be actually they called me to Paris to give a talk based on my research in front of the all UNESCO member. Can you believe it? I'm going to deliver a huge speech, nearly 20 minutes of speech they have given to me, that I can give a speech on my research and what I really want to change the world to fight against the microplastic and biodegradable, with the plastic pollution. And but unfortunately, because of the corona outbreak in the European country in a much earlier days, they have canceled the this kind of conference, but they have sent me the e-certificate out of that. I think so. I have missed the chance to to visit the Paris. They were sending me the flight tickets of 2 and 4, and the 3 night in the 5-star hotel in Paris. I missed all the opportunity.
Yeah, no, congratulations on your selection, and it's a really
Yeah,
proud moment, right? I mean, only one person from India being selected, and that too, someone from Manipur. So
exactly.
congratulations.
Yeah,
I wouldn't worry about missing it. I'm sure there would be some, alternative when all this corona thing
yeah.
is gone.
I believe that. I
But
believe
yeah,
that.
but very
Yeah,
excited about you being in
yeah.
the
Thank
top
you so much.
ranked
Yeah,
engineer at the global level.
yeah.
So yeah, keep doing your research,
Sure,
and
sure.
I'm
Definitely.
sure more
Definitely.
things will come out, to more
Exactly.
solutions which will aid humanity. Is there
Yeah.
anything else you want to share before we wrap up?
Yeah, but I really want to thank you for giving me this opportunity. And you keep on taking the interview for many of us, especially the youth from Manipur, but we never get a chance to interview to yourself. I because I really look you as a role model, because I really love the way that you are working, though you are in United States, living miles and miles away from all of us, but still, through the platform of the social media, you try to connect us, and you try to relieve the that what do you call that, the feeling of being a Manipuri. Even though you're outside, you always try to relive your lifestyle as Manipuri, as family, even in your house. And I really appreciate. I really consider you as one of my role model. And you can now I'm going to interview you.
That's very kind of you to say.
Yeah, I
Yes.
just want to know, like, how do you get this kind of idea to bring up this platform as finding the voices, and like how do you get this kind of the, the idea about the motivation behind of this kind of work, and the what is your future, that in which level you know you want to take it up. I just want to know, because even me also, when I right now I'm doing my PhD, and in next 6 months probably I should be starting my postdoc, and probably I should be in abroad. Actually, I don't know, if my finger crosses, I don't know, I should be in abroad. And when I be there, I think I'll have financially will be good. Even I'll have a good good scope to just connect with other people. I really want to help my people too. So I really want to learn from you that, how do you really come up with this idea, so that even now we have to really multiply just how the coronavirus was multiplied from this to that now you can teach me, like, how you got motivated yourself, so that you can lift up all the youths in Manipur. Even I want to try in my own style, maybe towards the research or something like that. So that if you can give me some light on that, would be really glad.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, as I work full time. I'm in the product innovation team. I'm a senior product analyst in one of the biggest healthcare company, which is the backbone network of all the electronic transactions of medication, which goes in our network. Um, so that is my livelihood. That is my education. What I have done, right? Engineering and things like that. So that's one aspect of my life. The other aspect is I truly believe in uplifting the humanity,
Yeah.
particularly for Manipur. And
Mhm.
as you can see, we grew up with a very special background of conflict. I grew up in Manipur, but I know very less of Manipur because I felt there was very less of freedom. I was mainly at home. I was not allowed to go out. It was only home and school. So I don't think that's a nice way for a child to grow up, right? And then you come out because you want continuous education and you have this perennial situation, questions about yourself of not being able to fit into many contexts. And as you can see, there are still incidents even today where people of Manipur may be accepted, may not be accepted, and you have to struggle at every point of
Exactly.
life
Exactly.
to kind of be accepted. Um,
Mm.
then when you come back to Manipur, because you have kind of adapted and learned different concepts, met different people, you have a different perspective, and then the people of Manipur kind of rejects you because you have a different idea, right? You have a different perspective. So I
Yeah.
see a lot of disparity, and um, I want the young people to come out and speak their thoughts, because you see in many situations that because of our conflict, things are forced upon them, right? Like even like the case of the book club where I started, I want to give the freedom. You have the freedom to read any book you like. It doesn't have to be only Manipuri.
Yeah.
You read some other book doesn't mean that you don't love your motherland, right? You can love your motherland, you can love your mother tongue, you can
True.
do a lot for where you are born, but you also should have that freedom to choose, freedom to explore, right? And that's what
Yeah.
the world is about. Um, and I feel that there are a lot of like bullying, a lot of forcing, a lot of like things which constrict a human being, does happen in our community, and we need to come together as a community to fight it and to um, to get out of it. And I think the basic step is to connect, and that's what finding the voice is for, to find
Yes.
your
Yes.
voice, to find the voice so that we all come together and inspire each other, right? Like your voice inspire me, and then many of the guest speaker who comes, we inspire each other. So I do want to take this level. So I have been trying to introduce concepts like gratitude, right? Like, you see
Yeah.
in Manipur that there are a lot of people who are doing great, but do you see like people coming out and saying that, hey, you're doing great? So I want to kind of expand that concept, make it very what do you call, like an like something which comes out naturally, which doesn't in our
Exactly.
community.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
want to work with policymakers. I want to reach out to people so that we can elevate, people with a voice, give them inspiration from different segment, not only mine, right? I want to get all the guest speaker whom I am inspired, who inspires other people. Because when I go to different school and I ask them, hey, nominate a person whom you are grateful for at the level of Manipur, they pause because they don't know who to nominate.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
I find that I take that very personally. So, it is my goal and my aim to go everywhere in Manipur and talk about the people that, hey, like, do you know that there is a research scholar um, right now in NIT who is being selected, as one person out of 10 engineers in the whole global. Like, so we don't know about this. And so we need to, go speak and kind of elevate the people of our own. And that's how you grow our community. So I do want to work with policymakers because I need their help to sponsor and support our program, because right now, from 2012, that's when I truly started. That's when, I have been doing it, and I have been solely carrying it. And of course, with volunteers and team members, who are helping me, do this kind of program. So yeah, that is a brief
Wow. Wow.
background
Amazing.
of what I
Amazing.
have. So thank you so much, John, for coming to our show.
Thank you.
I'm really excited that you're doing very well in your field. My best wishes to you, and to
Mm.
all our listeners. If you are doing something, we want to hear. We want you to come up in our platform and talk about what you're doing. All right. Any last minute message before we end the show?
What I want to say is that the spread love. That's it. Love
Yes.
is the only.
Um,
Yeah. To be frank, love is the only thing that which I can do the best. And yeah, as a human being, I have lots of faults, sort of lot of kind of drawback, but I really want to share love, wherever I go. That's my motto of my life, actually. So please don't spread kind of hatred, spread love. even if you don't want to laugh someone, then just keep quiet. Don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, please don't burst out all
Yeah,
the anger and hatred out of you.
yeah,
Just be quiet. If you don't
it's
want to love
better to be
someone, it's
quiet.
okay. I'm not
Yep.
saying to love everyone. I'm saying if you can't love someone, just be quiet. But if you can love, just to show the love to
Yeah, and
someone.
especially in now when we are in this crisis, there is no reason for people to be attacking each other and
Exactly.
slinging to each other. So yes,
Exactly.
we want to end with spread love and positivity. Let's be alert and let's be together so that we bring up our community with
True.
communication, with
True.
discussion and
Yeah.
sharing of ideas. So with that, we'll end today's show. Thank you, John. Thank you, everyone,
Thank you
for
so much.
watching.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, everyone. Bye
Yeah,
bye.
bye bye.